Big bucks buzz? Is a $6,000 stimulus check coming your way? Rumors are swirling. Some people are saying that a $6,000 stimulus check is coming soon. This money would go to people who get Social Security or disability benefits. That's a lot of money. But is it true? Right now, this is just a rumor. The government hasn't officially announced anything yet. It's important to be careful about rumors. Don't get your hopes up until you hear it from the official source. So what should you do? Keep an eye out for news from the government. The Social Security Administration, or SSA, is a good place to start. They will have the most up-to-date information. In the meantime, don't spend money you don't have. This rumor might be exciting, but it's important to be realistic. Social Security boost. Who might see the extra cash? If the rumors are true, this $6,000 stimulus check would be a big deal for a lot of people. The potential impact of such a significant amount of money cannot be overstated. For many, this could mean the difference between struggling to make ends meet and having a bit of financial breathing room. Imagine the relief of opening your mailbox or checking your bank account online to find an unexpected windfall. It would go to people who receive Social Security retirement benefits. These are individuals who have worked hard all their lives and are now relying on their Social Security checks to get by. For them, an extra $6,000 could be a game changer, helping to cover unexpected expenses or simply making life a little more comfortable. It would also go to people who get Social Security Disability Insurance, or SSDI. These are individuals who, due to a disability, are unable to work and rely on SSDI to support themselves. The additional funds could provide much-needed relief, allowing them to afford better care, assistive devices, or other necessities that improve their quality of life. That means seniors and people with disabilities could see some extra cash. This extra money could be a lifeline, helping them to manage their daily expenses more effectively. It could also provide a sense of security, knowing that they have a financial cushion to fall back on in case of emergencies. This money could help them pay for important things like rent, food, and medicine. These are basic necessities that everyone needs, but for those on a fixed income, they can be a constant source of stress. The extra funds could alleviate some of that stress, making it easier to afford healthy food, keep up with rent payments, and purchase necessary medications. However, it's not clear if everyone who gets benefits would qualify. There are always complexities and nuances in these types of programs, and not everyone who receives Social Security benefits may be eligible for the stimulus check. This uncertainty can be frustrating, especially for those who are already struggling and were hoping for some financial relief. For example, people who get Supplemental Security Income, or SSI, might not be included. SSI is designed to help those with very low income and limited resources, and the eligibility criteria for the stimulus check might exclude these individuals. This could be a significant disappointment for many who rely on SSI to make ends meet. SSI is a different program that helps people with low incomes and disabilities. It's a crucial safety net for many, providing essential support to those who need it most. However, the differences between SSI and other Social Security programs mean that not everyone who needs help will necessarily receive the stimulus check. It's also unclear if veterans who receive benefits would get the stimulus check. Veterans have served their country and often face unique challenges, including financial difficulties. Whether or not they will be included in this round of payments is still up in the air, adding another layer of uncertainty. There might be a separate payment for veterans. This could be a way to ensure that those who have served are not left out and receive the support they need. However, the details of such a payment, if it exists, are not yet clear, or they might be included in this round of payments. If veterans are included, it would be a welcome relief for many who are struggling financially. The extra funds could help cover essential expenses and provide a bit of financial stability. We'll have to wait and see. The situation is still developing, and more information will hopefully be available soon. In the meantime, those who might benefit from the stimulus check can only hope for the best and prepare for whatever comes next. Fighting inflation. Why this stimulus matters? Inflation is a term that has been on everyone's lips lately, and for good reason. The cost of living is rising, and many people are feeling the pinch. This is where the idea of a stimulus check comes into play. Why are people talking about another stimulus check? The answer lies in the economic challenges that many are facing today. With prices for everyday items like groceries and gas climbing steadily, families are finding it harder to make ends meet. One reason is inflation. Inflation means that prices for things are going up. This isn't just a minor inconvenience, it can have a significant impact on people's lives. When the cost of basic necessities rises, it can strain household budgets and force people to make tough choices. This can make it hard to afford the things you need. Imagine going to the store and seeing that the price of your usual groceries has doubled, or filling up your car with gas and realizing it costs twice as much as it did last month. These are real scenarios that people are dealing with right now. A stimulus check could help people cope with inflation. By providing a financial boost, it can help families cover the increased costs of living. This extra money can be a lifeline for those who are struggling to pay for essentials. The extra money could help them pay for groceries, gas, and other essentials. It can also provide a sense of security, knowing that there is a bit of a cushion to fall back on during these uncertain times. This could provide some much-needed relief for people who are struggling. It's not just about the money, it's about the peace of mind that comes with knowing you can take care of your family. Some experts believe that a stimulus check could actually make inflation worse. They argue that injecting more money into the economy could lead to even higher prices. This is a valid concern, and one that needs to be carefully considered. They argue that putting more money into the economy could cause prices to rise even higher. This is because when people have more money to spend, demand for goods and services can increase, leading to higher prices. Others disagree, arguing that the stimulus would provide a much-needed boost to the economy. They believe that the benefits of helping people cover their expenses outweigh the potential risks of increased inflation. Only time will tell what the true impact of another stimulus check would be. It's a complex issue with no easy answers. What is clear, however, is that many people are in need of assistance right now. However, it's clear that inflation is a serious concern for many Americans. The rising cost of living is putting a strain on household budgets, and people are looking for solutions. A stimulus check could be one way to address this issue. While it may not be a perfect solution, it could provide some immediate relief for those who are struggling to keep up with rising costs. In the end, the goal is to help people navigate these challenging times and ensure that everyone can afford the basic necessities of life. Section 4. From pandemic to now, how this check stacks up. Remember the stimulus checks from the pandemic? The government sent out money to help people during that difficult time. Those checks were helpful for a lot of people. This new stimulus check would be different in a few ways. First, it would be a lot more money. The pandemic checks were for $600, $1,200, and $1,400. This one would be for $6,000. Second, this stimulus check would be specifically for people who receive Social Security or disability benefits. The pandemic checks went to most Americans regardless of their income. It's important to note that the pandemic stimulus checks were not taxed. That means people didn't have to pay taxes on the money they received. It's unclear if this new stimulus check would be taxed or not. Section 5. Executive action. Could Trump bypass Congress? There's another interesting twist to this stimulus check rumor. Some people are saying that former President Trump might try to authorize the payments himself. He could do this through something called an executive action. An executive action is like a presidential order. It allows the president to make certain decisions without going through Congress. This can be a faster way to get things done. However, there are limits to what a president can do with an executive action. For example, it's unclear if a former president can even issue an executive action. Additionally, Congress could challenge an executive action in court. So, even if Trump does try to authorize the stimulus checks, it's not guaranteed that they will happen. It's a complicated situation with a lot of uncertainty. Section 6. Getting your money direct deposit, debit card, or check. If the $6,000 stimulus check does happen, how would you get your money? This is a question many people are asking, and it's important to understand the different methods available for receiving such payments. The government has a few options to ensure that everyone gets their money as quickly and efficiently as possible. The government would likely use the same methods as before. These methods have been tried and tested during previous stimulus distributions, and they have proven to be effective in reaching a large number of people in a relatively short amount of time. That means you might get the money through direct deposit. Direct deposit is a method where the government transfers the funds directly into your bank account electronically. This method is not only fast but also secure, as it minimizes the risk of the payment getting lost or stolen. Direct deposit is the fastest and easiest way to get your money. Once the funds are transferred, they are immediately available for you to use. You can pay bills, make purchases, or even withdraw cash from an ATM without any delay. The government would deposit the money directly into your bank account. This method is especially convenient for those who already have their bank information on file with the IRS, as it eliminates the need for any additional steps or paperwork. You would then be able to access the money immediately. Whether you need to pay for groceries, utilities, or any other expenses, the funds would be right there in your account, ready to be used. If you don't have a bank account, you might get the money on a debit card. This is an alternative method that the government has used in the past, particularly during the pandemic when many people needed quick access to funds. The government used this method for some of the pandemic stimulus checks. These prepaid debit cards can be used just like a regular debit card, allowing you to make purchases, pay bills, or withdraw cash from ATMs. You would receive a debit card in the mail that you could use to make purchases or withdraw cash. This method is particularly useful for those who do not have a traditional bank account but still need a secure and convenient way to access their funds. Finally, you might get the money in the form of a paper check. While this is the slowest method, it is still a viable option for those who prefer or need a physical check. This is the slowest method, but it's still an option. Receiving a paper check means you would have to wait for it to arrive in the mail, which could take several days or even weeks, depending on the postal service. You would receive a check in the mail that you could then deposit or cash. This can be done at your bank, through an ATM, or even using a mobile banking app. While it may take a bit longer, it ensures that everyone, regardless of their banking situation, has a way to receive their funds.